Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. Last time around we fought a great naval battle over in the Baltic Sea. However, I do imagine there's quite a lot more Russian ships there, so there's certainly to be more fighting as we clear out the Baltic. However, I thought that today we were going to turn our eyes back again to the west, and we're going to deal with the British invasion force coming in rather late, as France has already fallen here, but I guess better late than not turning up at all, I guess. So Pride provides us with a little bit of a variety here as we get to fight the British. So Timothy Barford has landed his force. There's not actually a proper general. Seems like they've got a few Royal Marines, some Yeomanry, Cavalry, Field Guns, Regulars, Rifle Corps, Lights. But I wanted to show you something else before we go into this battle. So, as you saw in an earlier episode, I was bringing aircrafts over here, then transported through one of my destroyers, and then sneakily brought across the channel so that I could take a look at what the British actually have there. And as we can see, this port is full. Ships. A few ships here as well. Not much of an army in London. There's another army mooching on this bridge. Marching towards this area. This is what I wanted to show you. So it kind of looks like they're lining up a number of armies to be shipped across the channel. But given the current pace, I imagine they're going to send them out over one by one. So we've got Sir John French got an army, and then we've got Victor Osborne. We've got Herbert Plummer, smaller army, not really an army. Got Edmund Allenby and Julian Headsworth George. Over here we've got Sir Horace Smith Dorian, and for some reason they've decided to put a lot more troops in Wales to protect the capital in Wales compared to London. But there we have it. I'm going to go around trying to discover as much as possible. Given that they have these many armies, I definitely want to deal with these guys as much as possible, or as soon as possible, really, or stop them from coming across. Now, the British Royal Navy is certainly a lot larger than my navy, especially coming after the battle we just had, the naval battle in the Baltics. So it's probably going to take quite a while until we can kind of take control of the channel. However, it did help us a bit that the Irish took control of the island, because that denies a port for the British to build ships out of. Now they still control one port up here, Glasgow, so they control Glasgow, there's one. Then they have Liverpool, that's 2. Then they've got Bristol, that's 3. And then they've got Portsmouth, that's 4. And then 5 with Chatham Docks. Nothing along this coast. I like the fact that there's nothing along this coast, because I think if I'm going to invade Great Britain, I'm not going to go and aim for London. I think we would go through here and we would try to go for Scotland. I think Scotland is probably one of those areas where you can release it as its own nation. So I wouldn't have to worry about like holding the province as much as just fighting the British in the area. So I think that would be kind of the next targeted weakening the British by taking out London. Or I mean taking out Edinburgh when I'm talking about London. But obviously this is a long way away so far. Still hoping that I'll be able to take control of Ireland and make them into a puppet state. You know, controlled in the same way as we puppeted the Latvians earlier, where we've got our Latvians under control. Anyways, with all of that said, Karl von Berlov makes ready to attack and charge the British up the rear. And we'll see how this goes. Let's get a good look at what the British actually bring. So there's this full army. We outnumber them slightly, but only because we're most of it is filler for our side, with Home Guard and reservists. Guns, in terms of guns, I definitely say we outnumber them. We've got the same amount of number of guns. However, mine are veteran, and I also have 1,000 ranged one. They do have some interesting troops, like the Royal Navy troops. And they do have some light infantry, and then they even bring an Indian battalion. That's gonna be quite interesting. And we got lots of cavalry, should easily be slaughtered. So I see no worries here, we should be able to defeat this in no time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and strike the invasion force down. Pretty simple setup, we don't have a lot of troops. They do actually deploy further back, so I'll have to move up the 700 guns. The ones to fire up to 700 meters. So we'll have to move them, or they have 700 in range. I don't know if it's supposed to be meters or what it's supposed to be. But the 700s needs to be moved up to actually be within range of the enemy. Luckily though, I do have my heavy artillery, the siege artillery, so that should be shelling them. The line of infantry will advance. And then we've got the assault pioneers. I think I'll actually place them on this side of the hill and we'll focus our attack more on this side. And then I've got my assault detachments sitting over here. They're going to be moving up as soon as possible and attacking the flank here, be able to kill these cavalry units pretty quickly, and then maybe get on to killing this gun. With that said, let's go ahead and take a closer look at, I believe the Indians was seen over here. Yes. So before we start, let's go ahead and just take a look at what the Indian troops look like. Pretty darn nice with the turbans. Right, with that, let's go ahead and start. We're gonna get these guys going right from the start, and also I want to be moving my troops up because otherwise the different troops will be caught. I'm thinking that the reinforcement's going to turn up behind the British, just given the location on the map. Oh, they're going to turn up slightly in there, slight an angle there. That's going to be good, because then the assault units will be able to aid them as well. Let's speed that up a little bit. So it looks like the British are advancing here, and they'll be able to go onto the bomb. I'll place this unit slightly over here to start off with. Oh, my cannons are coming under attack by the enemies. They are within range then. Time to deploy them before they get completely destroyed. We've got one cannon lost in this group. Let's get the infantry going now. The British troops are closing in. I want to use the bomb. Looks like the machine guns are firing to the back of their own troops. I want to see if we can get the British to march onto the bomb, so I'm gonna get my infantry to head more over to this side, and we'll bring these guys back, set them in the forest just to protect the flank. Oh, assault groups coming in. Should be able to shoot down the machine gun, no problem. It is the machine guns, as it turns out, are not very effective. Might be better to shoot at these. Although in this case, with a low amount of actual troops in these two units, the machine gun might just prevail. So I'm drawing up my line. It's working good. Heavy artillery. He hasn't been able to hit anyone over here. I'm gonna order it to target in between to get a better angle on this, and then we increase it, and then I increase these two. Should actually fire on each here, and then hopefully we'll be able to shoot this one down. Down to 35 men, so we are suffering a little too many of these guys. However, I've got the reserves coming up. I'm gonna set them up here in the woods, and we're gonna have the assault units pull back for now. And we got more of the Landsturm, the home guard, coming in. Okay, so we've got British cresting the hill. Remember the bombs over there? Gonna see if we can get some of them to go into that. Hopefully we'll be able to silence some of these guns rather quickly. The Landwehr reservist units have a hard time actually getting into position and start shooting. Just in time, it seems, as the heavy cavalry was ready to charge the reservists down, and you can see the morale is dropping quite drastically on them. No bomb's gone off yet. However, there's been 2 cavalry charges going into this area. Looks like the light infantry over on the right there might just trigger the bomb. Now we got the home guard coming in. Reservist killing the cavalry. Should be able to push on. We can make another attempt on attacking the machine guns. And taking out that one cannon. Okay, they're coming. It looks like the Royal Marines will be the ones to walk onto the bomb here. If it weren't for they just stopped right out of it. If I look through the ground, I might be able to spot it. Somehow they missed the bomb. Or is the bomb? No, I would have heard that the bomb went off. There it is. There's dead troops above it. I just also noticed that my artillery pieces was utterly slaughtered. So are some of the units here. Why hasn't the bomb gone off? With that as a quite large predicament in my battle plan, we'll have to pull back slightly. And I think push a little bit harder with these troops. Right, we've shot down the machine gun. The assault guys will go after the artillery, while the reservists, plus the home guard, will upset the British flanker as we pull back. I think, even though yeah, it seems like we've silenced most of the guns. We'll need to turn our cannons on to the advancing British troops here. It doesn't matter that much that these cannons are lost. I have been recruiting quite a few back in Paris for the other armies, ready to strike at our enemies. It definitely seems as though I'll be having some sort of force stationed in the area to repel the repeated charges by the British. Okay, we've got another cavalry unit coming out of the woods. Gonna have to kill that one. Okay, we've got the home guard now ready to attack the Indian infantry. We're gonna have to stop one of the Landwehr reservists to open up on the cavalry, but the other one is gonna continue forward and be able to shoot up the flank of the Indian troops. British continue to advance on us. However, the numbers are dwindling. I don't think they'll be able to keep this attack up against us. And they'll be faltering quite soon here. The Indians are suffering very heavily from the Home Guard firing up the flank. Enemy officer killed with his cavalry. With that, there should be nothing to protect the artillery. Actually, melee, those guns can be tricky. So let's not do that. Right, let's keep moving forward with the Home Guard and the reservists to claim the hill. There's very few British left. Heavy artillery bombard over there.
Sir, our general is under attack.
And then we're gonna call bayonet charge across the field there to get rid of the last British troops. And we got the reservists and the Home Guard coming up to deal with the flank. It's not going too well here. So why don't you guys throw a few grenades? We can pause it here just in the air just to take a look at one of the hand grenades as it's flying through the air. They've even gone ahead and that's pretty detailed right there. The thing though is when he picks it up, I think it's actually kind of a round hand grenade. But I might be mistaken. That went a lot better than shooting. Here we got the bayonet attack going in. Make sure to tell the troops to hold fire here so they don't shoot. Oh, these two should probably shoot. But these three are all mixed together, or these four actually are all mixed together. And if they'd open fire, they'd most likely just shoot each other. So we got a machine gun on those two artillery pieces. Needs to be dealt with. These still man one cannon. And it's the first infantry regulars completely wiped out here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Now let's march on the final position. We'll hope for the artillery to do some good work on that machine gun, silencing it long before my infantry get there. Seems like we've got one really good hit. It's really loud, the machine gun, isn't it? Oh, now there's only one machine gun left. All the others were broken down and 4 crew. Looks like they're trying to move these artillery away. But no luck there. I think we might just break it with the last reserve, first reservists unit here. Might just kill the machine gun with some sustained fire. Given also as the cannons aren't firing, I'd say once that's gone, the battle is won, because there's nothing else to put up any resistance against us. Damn, I just noticed, how did you lose that many?
The men are fatigued,
I thought there was
sir,
still
and must
more
rest
of them in there. Also, a shame the bomb didn't go off. Oh, now it's all gone. Go in. We'll bayonet them all. Well, yeah, they might just break long. Yeah, they broke long before we even got there. No surprise, there was barely anyone left. But you could almost say the same about our army, as I wouldn't want to fight another battle with this army. Definitely not. We're gonna have to bolster. We're gonna have to make an Atlantic wall. That's what we're gonna do. And prepare against multiple British attacks to put down hard defenses. It looks, though, like the British are concentrating on going after the Brittany region, so I might very well be focusing in on my defenses around there. Obviously also Paris and the Belgian capital, as those are two sectors that we heavily recruit troops out of. But with that, we have a good victory in destroying the British invader. Here's the result of the battle. We've got about 3,000 men on our side, with about 2,000 on the British side. Only 8 men out of the British side actually remain after the battle. Low team kills as well, as I can tell here, as the enemy killed about 1,179. While so that, what, 42 men that we shot of our own, so that's pretty good, considering. We lost 1,200, so there's still 2,000 men left. So we lost a third, roughly, in this battle. Big loss, though, is that we lost one of the artillery batteries. That's a pretty big loss. Replenishment in the region is pretty poor as well. But I guess that's good if the enemy would be to take it, that their replenishment would be rather poor as well. Oh, wait, I thought there was only 8 men. There's 5 men in an artillery. Nervous twitch. I don't see why I wouldn't gain a nervous twitch from that. 5 men dragging 1 artillery piece. I doubt... Wait, are they gonna win this out-assault? Not only that, but they slaughter the troops. What? Excuse me. They 5 guys dragging 1 artillery piece killed 178 of my reservists going after. I should have known that was gonna happen. Right, there's no more moves to make. I'll end turn, but I think this will be the episode. We'll just... I'm so curious as to see a little bit how the players move on this stage right now, so I definitely want to end turn just once here before we go. Trade route raided by Paul von Hindenburg. Wait, what? Oh, he's actually attacking the railway lines, taking Italian goods going in between there. Interesting, right? I kind of forgot that you can actually do that on land routes as well, not just on attacking the sea trade routes. Let's go ahead and see some more troops being recruited out of Provence. I should be able to, I think, be able to recruit those kinds of troops. Ah, yes. Maybe because I turned it into a soup kitchen. I should turn this back into a training ground, I think. It's one of the few places here where we have a port district, and that should hopefully enable me to be able to recruit the... might be because the port is under siege. Yeah, we should get old sea battalions. What do I need to get the new sea battalions? Okay, so I'd need the next level of port to get the Imperial Marines up here. Can I upgrade it even though it's under siege? I think I can. Right, so that's happened. Stuff being built. Tolkien arrives at the Somme. Well, that's a bit late. Right, they're not moving on over any more troops. Let's see if they have anything else interesting in Britain. I want to see what they have in Scotland, if we may. They have nothing. It's completely unprotected. How cheeky. That bastard British army. I'm gonna have to chase that little shit army. Went a lot better this time. Can send this back to Paris to get properly refitted. Right. Is there anything else I saw? One interesting thing, the Russians were beaten back over here, so the Austrians actually did something. They did defend this area. The Russian army, of course, moved forward from its position over here. One army possibly going north. So the Austrians are doing something at least. That's good. Then there were no real moves here. You know what? As a last thing, I could possibly be able to go ahead and take out Estonia. Oh yeah, I need cannons. Now I remember, I need cannons to actually conduct a proper siege attack on the town. I can't just... But at least I've laid it under siege, means they shouldn't be able to recruit any troops. And if they decide to sally forth, I should be able to take them. As I recall as well, this was one of the areas that we wanted to create as its own state. So Baltic, one of our Baltic puppets. The Navy, we should bring out the Navy immediately. Now it's been refitted and set up. So once this is taken, we should board these guys, this army immediately almost. Maybe let it replenish a little bit. But then we're going to go to Finland and release Finland, causing much distress among the Russians. We've got some troops advancing here. I might just wait a little longer, replenish in this area before we move forward. Let them combine before I crush them. Other than that, what we could do, I'm making quite a lot of money. We could raise another army and send something down here to attack here, but also probably attack the Romanians. At this point, because the it's as I think it would be safe for my army in at Constantinople to actually go up and attack the Romanians. I think the Turks are okay. Like, they're not gonna go ahead and get crushed by the Greeks again. If they are, I mean, I'm pretty close to head down rather quickly. Italians make no great attempt at kicking Hindenburg out. As much as I would want to send this guy by ship over there immediately, it might be better to send him over to this side and aid here. Right. There we have it anyways. So, for the next one, I think it's probably going to be in Italy. But we might just... I probably start off by showing you this. But it's probably going to be Hindenburg fighting at the bridge, forcing his way across, and these guys will probably replenish at the bridge, so we need to move quickly, cross the bridge, and then over on the other side and defeat the army. That's what I imagine for next episode. Anyways, with all of that said, it's time to end this episode. So, I say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!